Today I'm filming the 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC300. As you guys can see, it's painted in this beautiful red metallic paint, which is a $1,080 charge, which I highly recommend getting because it looks really good here on the GLC. But looking here at the front fascia of the GLC, I like that it has this red exterior color with the aluminum, chrome, and black finish here. Looking at these taillights here, they're gonna be a full LED with an LED turn signal, with an LED daytime running light, with an automatic low and high beam. There is front parking sensors here. There's this bullet mesh grille here in the front grille. I do like the three-pointed Mercedes emblem. I like this bar that cuts between the grille. It looks really nice. There is also a front-facing camera down there. There's your three-pointed Mercedes emblem here on the hood. There's these sharp bylines. You really can't see it here on the camera because of the red metallic paint. But looking at the side profile of the GLC, looking at these tires, these are a 255/45 Scorpion tire. I do like the 20-spoke AMG wheel. They're part of a $750 charge, which I highly recommend getting. I wish Mercedes would have offered this thing with a matte black finish to give this thing more of an aggressive look. But the GLC is not a bad luxury compact looking SUV here. And also they just have these standard brake calipers here. I think Mercedes lets you paint the calipers either red. If I'm not mistaken, I want you guys to comment down in the comment section down below. Mercedes says they sold 73,000 units in the year 2019, which is a lot of GLCs, because Americans, we love our SUVs. Also, it's practical and it does have a tall riding height as well. And above, my Tesla has a panoramic sunroof, which is $1,500. There's this LED side marker here on the mirror cap. But making our way to the rear here of the GLC, looking at these taillights here, it's gonna be a full LED with an LED turn signal, with an LED brake light, with an LED reverse light. There's your GLC300 badge, your three-pointed Mercedes emblem. There's a wiper to keep the rear glass clean. And looking down here, Mercedes does throw in dual tip exhaust with rear parking sensors. The rear diffuser does look a little bit aggressive, and Mercedes says you can tow 3,500 pounds. Open up the cargo capacity back here. This is a power lift gate. Mercedes says you get 19.4 cubic feet of space. Once you fold the seats down back here, which you can do from the little switch here, Mercedes says you get 56.5 cubic feet of space. So there is plenty of space back here as well. And once you lift up the low floor here, Mercedes does give you more storage underneath. I'm sitting inside the interior of the 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC300. Looking at this interior, it's not a bad looking interior, but I'm really not impressed because compared to the other Mercedes I'm used to seeing, this one kind of throws me off because it doesn't look like the other Mercedes. I'm not sure why Mercedes hasn't updated this interior yet, but this is a still nice interior here if you don't want those big 12.3-inch displays in your face. But shutting the door here, and to start up the GLC, just put your foot on the brake and press the start-stop button right here. My Tesla has the company's 2-liter 4-cylinder. It makes 255 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. But looking here at the door panel material, is going to be a soft touch ejection molded plastic. There's this aluminum painted trim here. Mercedes does throw in 3-level heated seats. You can also get cool seats for $500. Looking here, there's a real metal door handle. The window switch controls are here. It is one touch up, one touch down for all 4 windows. I kind of was expecting that as well. You can also power fold the mirrors in, so just in case you're on a tight street, you don't want nobody to curb or take off your side mirrors, so you can power fold those in or out. Over here is going to be your headlight controls. This is a manual tilt telescoping wheel. It is a nice leather wrap wheel here. This does have adaptive cruise control here with stop and go, a nice area to rest your elbows, more stitching. Down here is going to be additional storage, cup holders. This is for the trunk release here. Looking at the gauge cluster, this does have analog gauges here, but Mercedes will give you a 12.3-inch display. But there is this helper screen here front and center. You can use it by resting your finger on this trackpad here. It shows you different things like your range, also your speed and whatnot. So Mercedes does let you customize the screen to show you different stuff. There is these paddle shifters here. Your one wiper and turn signal stock is going to be integrated into one. I do like the 3-spoke wheel design here. It looks really nice. But to put the GLC into reverse, put your foot on the brake and switch this gear lever up here. As you guys can see, Mercedes is known for one of the best backup cameras in the industry. There's this top-down 360 view here. There's different angles around the vehicle so that you can see. So if you're close to a curb and you wanted to make sure you can access the cameras by also using this button here or putting this thing into reverse. And to go into drive, you just click the D down into drive. Also, you can put into park by clicking this button here. This is for the volume controls, the option to answer and hang up the phone there. So Mercedes does have some features here on the steering wheel. Looking here at this 10.5-inch display, it does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, not wireless. You have to connect it to the USB-C, which lives in the center console here. But the touch response here on the screen here is it's really responsive. Going here to comfort, my tester has this premium package, which is $645. That includes the ambient lighting, which I highly recommend getting because there's 64 different colors that you can choose from. So if you wanted to show a green, as you guys can see, it will show here or underneath. Well, the grab handle here, the grab handle is there. Like I mentioned, I would highly recommend getting that. There's some wood finish trim here around the air vents. Also, there's these toggle switches for the dual climate control. There is some heart buttons here for the telephone, navigation, radio. Also, quick access button here to show you different things like the camera and parking sensors. Also, the active braking assist, attention assist, also with blind spot monitoring. Your favorite button here, so you can customize the screen how you would like. Your hats switch button there. 2 cup holders, a 12-volt there. You can close this back just in case you wanted to hide your phone in here and whatnot. There's more wood trim around the center console area here. This is for the drive mode selector here, which shows you Sport, Sport Plus, Individual, also a comfort mode. We'll talk about the drive modes once you get into the driving scene a little later on. There's parking sensors, automatic start stop to access the cameras. Also your stability control there, your volume knob here, or rotary knob there. This is for the trackpad for a back button, sync, track, also home. There's this frameless mirror up here with the LED lights throughout the cab. There is a sunglass holder there, and above, my tester offers this panoramic sunroof, but it does cut into this bar does cut into the actual panoramic sunroof. The panoramic sunroof stickers for $1,500, which I highly recommend getting because my Tesla does have this black interior. Looking at the upper part of the dashboard here, it's going to be a soft touch ejection molded plastic. There's more of that painted aluminum trim. Open up the glove box here. It is a decent sized glove box. It's lined with felt. The seats in here, they're supportive, they're comfortable, they're not aggressively bolstered. You have to go for the AMG version of the GLC here. But open up the center console here, is double hinged. There's the USB-C that's connected to the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It does have a deep amount of storage in here. Nice area here to rest your elbows and whatnot. But overall, I'm impressed here with the GLC300's interior, but it's not like the other interiors that Mercedes offers. Sitting in the back seat here of the 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC300 here, looking at the leg room here, Mercedes says you get 37.3 inches of leg room. There's going to be 2 mat pockets back here for additional storage, rear air vents. Pulling this down here, there is a household outlet here, also with a 12-volt. Surprised to see there's no USB ports back there, but you do have other connectivity to charge your phones as well. But shutting the door here, the door sounds solid. The materials do continue from the front to the back. And above, my Tesla does have this panoramic sunroof, but this bar does cut into the lighting back here, which Mercedes says this is a $1,500 charge, which I highly recommend getting. And putting this armrest down here, there's additional storage in here, also with 2 over-engineered cup holders, which I love that Mercedes throws in that gimmick. And overall, the back seat is not a bad place to sit here in the GLC. So I have the hood open here for the 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC300. Let's see what powers the GLC here. This has Mercedes-Benz 2-liter 4-cylinder. It makes 255 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission. And as the GLC sits, it weighs 3,800 pounds. And Mercedes says 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds. You can also get this rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and Mercedes says the 0 to 60 time will technically still be the same. Doesn't matter which system you get, either all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. And Mercedes says you can tow 3,500 pounds. And fuel economy is rated at 22 in the city, 29 on the highway, and 25 combined. My tester here has the company's 2-liter 4-cylinder. It makes 255 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. And it's paired with a beautiful 9-speed automatic transmission designed by Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes is known for having one of the best fast-shifting transmission in the industry. My tester here, it does have a nice interior, but it doesn't have that Mercedes-Benz luxurious interior like I showed you guys from a GLS that I tested recently. It doesn't have that type of Mercedes styling, but this interior is still nice. Don't get me wrong, it still has a nice luxury interior, but it just doesn't have the 2 12-inch displays that Mercedes does offer. So visibility out of the GLC here is really good. You have a good commanding view of the road here. I like the seats, they're comfortable, they're supportive. I like that you have these decent sized mirrors here. That does have blind spot monitoring with forward collision warning, adaptive cruise control. And Mercedes does have really good driver's assistance. Like I said plenty of times before in my Mercedes reviews, I do not have any complaints with their driver's assistance. My Tesla here has the company's 2-liter 4-cylinder. Like I mentioned, makes 255 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. It does have a lot of low-end torque, around 1800 RPM. So you put your foot down, this thing is really powerful and it will get out of its own way. And honestly, just starting off this driving review here, the GLC is really impressive with the driving dynamics here. The steering feel, it's light, it's playful. You can feel what the front tires are doing. Like I mentioned, the seats, they're supportive, they're comfortable. But this driving this thing in comfort mode here, you can also put it in a sport mode, of course. But honestly, I have no complaints. It's quiet. I don't hear any road noise. It's not a windy day today, but the wind noise, you don't really hear from this interior. It's really quiet from the GLC here. And honestly, I'm really impressed. Mercedes did a really good job. In 2019, Mercedes sold over 73,000 units here of the GLC, which technically makes it the top selling vehicle in Mercedes portfolio. Which honestly, I could believe, because a lot of Americans, we like SUVs. We want to have more space, a tall ride height, more cargo. A traditional car can't give you that type of SUV feel. Of course, when you're on the road, you can put more people in here, put more stuff, of course. And this thing is really good at cruising. You can go along back road, twisty roads, and the GLC here will perform just fine. Above, my Tesla does have this panoramic sunroof to let some light into this dark cabin. I wish they would offer a different color scheme here. I think they offer a cherry red type interior here, which looks really nice. It does have the black on the bolsters here with the red in the inserts, but you cannot get cool seats if you go for the cranberry red interior. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any perforated holes in it, so basically you just be stuck with the 3-level heated seats. But Mercedes does offer cool seats, which is around like $500. But just driving this thing, it's quiet in the interior. Like I mentioned, the ride quality is smooth, it's compliant. Like I mentioned, the steering is light, but you can definitely feel what the front tires are doing. Putting my foot down here. It does have a lot of low-end torque at 273 pound-feet of it, around like 1800 RPM. It does have paddle shifters. Like I mentioned, it's paired with a beautiful 9-speed automatic transmission, which I don't have any complaints from the 9-speed here. And honestly, the GLC is a handsome, compact SUV. Honestly, it looks really good compared to the BMW, the Audi competitor as well. I do like the styling here of the GLC. Fuel economy, really quick, is rated at 22 in the city, 29 on the highway, and 25 combined. Of course, premium gas is required. That's one insult that I do not like to put in cars, is premium gas, because it's kind of expensive compared to regular grade gas. But of course, you want to get the best performance, so that's why Mercedes says you have to use premium. Of course, I can't get my words out. But overall, yeah, the GLC handles really good. But putting this thing into Sport Plus mode here, it's a 4-cylinder. Of course, it doesn't sound the best, but if you have kids that nag you a lot and they cry, wah, you don't want to hear that. Just put this thing in Sport Plus mode and just floor the accelerator, and you won't really hear your kids crying and whatnot. But in sport mode, like I mentioned, it's a 4-cylinder. It doesn't sound great. But I'm gonna do a slight acceleration run here really quick. Like I mentioned, it makes 273 pound-feet of torque at a really low RPM, so you do feel the surge of torque from the GLC, which is not bad. Like I mentioned, this 2-liter 4-cylinder is a good powertrain paired with this 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy, of course, is really good. 22 in the city, 29 on the highway, and 25 combined. But premium gas is required. want to play with the paddles here. That's second gear. Like I mentioned, it's really fast to respond with the 9-speed automatic transmission, but honestly, I don't like the way the 4-cylinder sounds, so most likely I'm going to just drive this thing in comfort mode and just take my typical roads that I take to work or take the highway and just rack up miles on this car, because this thing is going to really cruise at driving long distances. Of course, like I mentioned, great fuel economy, great ride control as well. The seats are comfortable, great visibility, great driver's assistance that Mercedes offers. But putting this thing into the having it in sport mode, it doesn't sound the best, because like I mentioned, it's a 4-banger, it's a 4-cylinder. Of course, it's not going to sound too good because it's going to sound raspy. But in sport, it did kind of have like a sort of a deep growl for say. I'm going to take this twisty road here, but like I mentioned, I do like the steering feel, how the way it feels. But on this little twisty roads back here, the GLC still performs really good. I have no problems with it. So I can see why a lot of Americans wanted to buy, that's why they bought this car in 2019. Over 73,000 units were sold, that Mercedes claims. Which, honestly, like I mentioned, every American wants a SUV because it's more practical. You can put more stuff in the cargo area. You can put your family in here, long road trips, family vacations and whatnot. So Mercedes did a really good job with the GLC. So after spending time with the 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC300, this thing is stylish and it's practical. You can fit your family, and also there's stuff in the cargo area back there. So how much does a GLC300 cost? Starting price for my tester is at $43,200. This includes some options here, which includes the red metallic paint, which is $1,080. Also the premium package, which is $645. That includes the interior color lighting, which I would highly recommend getting, because you can change the color lightings to the way you like. And Mercedes does one of the best interior color lightings in the industry here, including the panoramic sunroof, also the 20-inch AMG multi-spoke wheels. My tester has a grand total price of $51,415. I'd like to give a special thanks to Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay for providing me with the 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC300. If you're in the market for a GLC300, you can come to Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay and ask for Lewis. He'll get you into a new, used, or pre-owned vehicle. Hope you guys have enjoyed my full overview on the 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC300. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at DriveOnReviews. If you want to support the YouTube channel, just check out the description box down below, and I'll catch you all in the next video.